At 36 years old, I never imagined life would come crashing down as it did. My world crumbled when a devastating cancer diagnosis tore through my otherwise normal, middle-class life. Married for nearly a decade, with a 6-year-old daughter and a modest home, I thought my wife and I could weather anything together. But I was wrong, so very wrong. When I broke the news to my wife, I expected concern, maybe fear. But what I got was cold indifference. Without a shred of hesitation, she said, "I can't handle this. I want a normal, healthy husband who can provide, not this." A week later, she left me. Just like that, she packed up her belongings, took our daughter, drained every penny from our savings, and left me with nothing but the house, a house that was in my name long before our marriage. Divorce papers followed almost immediately. Her reasoning? She refused to be saddled with medical bills and an invalid husband. She didn't even pretend to care. To add insult to injury, the court awarded her custody of our daughter and slapped me with $200 a month in child support. I didn't fight it. I loved my little girl and would sacrifice anything for her. But after losing almost everything, the financial strain felt like another nail in the coffin, while I struggled to pick up the pieces. My ex-wife wasted no time. She remarried within months, flaunting her new life while I braced for grueling rounds of chemotherapy. Friends, colleagues, and even strangers came to my rescue, rallying around me to raise funds for my treatment. A local donation page quickly gained traction, evolving into a GoFundMe campaign that eventually raised $30,000. For the first time in months, I felt a glimmer of hope. The donations meant I could afford chemo, medication, and other critical treatments. Overwhelmed with gratitude, I posted a heartfelt thank you video, tears streaming down my face. I thought I'd finally caught a break. But then my ex-wife came sniffing around. At first it was subtle, more texts and calls than usual. Then came the bombshell. She demanded a share of the fundraiser money. Her reasoning: her new stepson deserved a sports car, and the funds would help buy it. I was speechless. This was money donated by kind-hearted people to save my life, not to fund a teenager's luxury toy. When I firmly said no, she didn't take it well. The harassment started, dozens of voicemails accusing me of being selfish, manipulative, and ungrateful. One particularly venomous message stuck with me. "You're paying child support, so obviously you can afford your treatment. My stepson's happiness is at stake. You better hand over that money." Her audacity was infuriating, but she wasn't done yet, not by a long shot. Soon I received a legal notice. My ex-wife had filed a lawsuit claiming I'd hidden assets during our divorce, namely the GoFundMe money, and that I was in contempt of court. She wanted half of the $30,000. Despite my deteriorating health, I refused to back down. My lawyer, an old friend who'd helped with my divorce, was outraged. "She's lost her mind," he said. "We'll fight this." Together we gathered evidence, documentation of my medical expenses, the fundraiser's timeline, and proof that the donations came after the divorce was finalized. When the court date arrived, I was nervous but resolute. The judge, however, turned out to be a surprising ally. He recognized my name from the GoFundMe campaign. He'd donated anonymously after hearing about my battle with cancer. My ex-wife's lawyer opened with wild accusations, painting me as a liar who'd orchestrated a secret windfall. But when it was my turn, I told my story, how my friends and colleagues had started the fundraiser, how the money was specifically earmarked for treatment, and how it was my lifeline during this difficult time. The judge listened intently, occasionally glancing at my visibly weakened frame. When my ex-wife took the stand, her true colors shone. She brazenly claimed that the funds should be shared because family needs come first and that I already had enough for treatment. But her greed was her undoing. "Are you saying you want to redirect a cancer patient's donation? Money to fund a sports car for your new stepson?" the judge asked, his voice tinged with disbelief. She stammered, trying to justify her demand. But the judge wasn't having it. He reviewed my financial records, confirming that every dollar from the fundraiser went toward medical expenses. My child support payments, drawn directly from my paycheck, were always on time. Her case unraveled. A few days later, the judge delivered his ruling. My ex-wife's motion was dismissed with prejudice, barring her from filing a similar lawsuit in the future. Not only that, but the judge ordered her to pay my legal fees and reduced my monthly child support, citing my medical condition and her remarried status. The courtroom was silent as the judge admonished her. Your attempt to seize funds meant for life-saving. Treatment is both unethical and deeply troubling. My ex-wife stormed out, humiliated, while her new husband trailed behind, visibly embarrassed. The victory was more than just financial. It was a validation of everything I'd endured. The $30,000 stayed where it belonged, funding my treatment. With the support of friends, family, and even strangers, I continued my battle against cancer. Meanwhile, my ex-wife's reputation took a hit. In our small town, word spread quickly about the woman who tried to steal her ex-husband's cancer fund for a sports car. Even her stepson never got the flashy car she'd promised. Through it all, I focused on my daughter, shielding her from the drama as much as possible. She was my reason to fight, my light in the darkness. Looking back, I'm reminded that sometimes karma works in mysterious ways. My ex-wife's greed led her straight into a well-deserved downfall, while the generosity of others gave me a second chance at life.